Hello, it's the 12th of June. Hope you're well. Nice to have you if you're new. Okay, so there was a comment by Brad, who is obviously in the west side of America, and he writes comments about what's going on with what he sees, the Marines and the Army, and has an interest in what he sees and what they're doing, or what he thinks they're doing, because nobody really knows. He could be the guide, or this is kind of what's happening. Okay, and he thinks that while the riots are going on, they're doing sort of operations, which obviously is probably correct with that word guides as well. Obviously I can't look into that, but so he thinks a lot's going on, okay, and and perhaps there are things going on while the riots are going on as well. However, he also thinks that the Marines have now joined, and there's going to be a big operation perhaps to do with the riots as well. Okay, so 2 cards are just falling out as I'm talking. I don't have great knowledge of all the details. I looked quickly last night at Reuters. That was the best I've got. Obviously, I don't live there, so, he was the only person that mentioned the riots to me. So I thought, it's an important question. Just because I'm in the UK, I should be asking about this. So, but that's kind of all I've got. So I've got to go off what he said and what I read in Reuters. So the riots. So this is all to do with immigration, I think, and ICE, and they can't do their jobs. And I did read that the governor didn't want President Trump to put in these troops, but he has anyway. And it's strange because in this country, we have a prime minister says goes. But in your country, it's like different states have more power like that. We don't have that kind of system here. President Trump for us would be, we don't have a president, you see, but he would be governing everything. He would override, and I assume in this instance he has. Longevity, remembrance. That makes me think this is just going to keep going. This operation of the riots, it's just, they're not going to stop. But I think it will get uglier because it's human nature that these things tend to bubble up more. The more opposition, the worse that situation is going to get. Then you bring in the military guard. It's very interesting that a lot of riots are planned for his birthday, which obviously all the operations and military are going to be, I think it's in DC, huge parade, and yet they're planning riots on that day, and he's saying won't have none of it. Remembrance, memories and the past hold the key. Plan for and take the dedicated path. Longevity, so this is going to go on and on, it feels like. So it looks like there's a lot of Marines and Army presence in America, and maybe even more so heading towards Los Angeles, doing whatever they have to do. But I'm actually now going to just ask about the riots themselves. We need this movie to come to an end, like we really do. And I know I don't make the rules, but we really, really do. Because over here, it's just getting worse and worse and worse day by day. If you saw my reading yesterday on the abortion laws, and also they're now doing boil in the bag. They even joke, like it's a joke to them. Boil in the bag, not funerals, cremations. You just Google it, you can read about it. Like, no respect for the dead. It's just, honestly, and what's more absurd is they put it down to carbon footprint, but everyone's still flying everywhere. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. It's absolutely absurd. My son, I told him, and he doesn't think what we think, But even he said, I could understand it if them, you know, they would do the same thing. But oh no, they won't. It would just be for, you know, the ordinary people on the street. Now, we know they spoke about that back in 2020, but to think that they're just talking about on television like it's nothing, like just a chat show. Let's discuss it. Let's talk to this person because it's a carbon footprint. You know, it's just, honestly, it's shocking. It's shocking. I was going to read on it, but I don't really want to. Whoops, one card fell out anyway, so I might as well address it. It was this card. Wasn't going to do a reading on it. I thought it was just disrespectful. But this is the King of Cups, and he's a bit slimy. It's like psychological. He's a bit of a trickster. Sneaky, rather. Maybe not slimy is the right word. He's a bit sneaky. Psychological, bit of a trickster. You know, maybe call your bluff. That's what that's about. There you go. Another one's just fallen out as I'm talking about it. I will say, this possibly, okay, this is a temporary setback card. And it's, it can actually be about defeat. And I'm wondering if that has been defeated, but they wanted it. But they've had to throw down their swords. The irony when you're talking about swords and, you know, what what the situation is talking about, and be defeated. So actually now I'm thinking maybe I should pull a couple of cards to see if that's, you know, they're just saying it, but actually that's been defeated, but we're not getting to know that yet. I'm just going to see. Has that been stopped, but they're just talking about it? Well, this is a lovely card. This is destiny. This is all about trust as well. So, and it can be exposing it to the people. Oh, I have a son. Could be exposing it for the naive as well with the sun. The naive people who, you know, are not seeing this for what it is. But those cards would imply to me that it's like perhaps the white hats are behind it. I've completely gone on to a different topic, haven't I now? These two sort of want to come out as well. Confidence, assertiveness. Let's see what else I got. Security and renewal. Safe harbour. Time to begin again, stronger, better. I think there's been I think they pulled the plug on them. Have they pulled the plug on these operations, but they're making us believe different? Whoa, look at all those cards just flew out. Actually, I'm glad I addressed it because I think it's really important. Because otherwise, if you listen to them going on, I think it would get you down. Look at this. Milo is destroying a box. Oh, I've just missed it now. Whoops. Here it is. Milo. Look, that was poking out. It's a secretive card. Secretly. Okay, this could be for the naive, the fool, literally, and they could be taking us for a fool. But this could be for the naive, the unaware. Okay, and this could be exposing it. Exposing, you know, destiny, what they want to sort of, how they can sort of, I don't know, our destiny, maybe. This looks like it's been wrapped up. What are you doing? This is like it's been wrapped up. If I'd pulled a proper reading, I probably would have got it better, but still. It looks like this could be governmental. Boundaries. Someone's put their foot down. Could even be white hats put their foot down. Okay. And this could be for the good. So I said, has that plan been stopped? It could be just to get you to think. It's destroying the... Aha! High Priestess again. Oh, yes. They secretly want the truth out about the Hierophant, what they were going to do to you. Those were their plans. That was their research. That was their knowledge. And that's what they were fighting for. And that's what they wanted. But that is going into the past. So that's good news. I've completely gone off topic. Oh, well. Save me doing one on Monday. Could be a combined one. Have 2 videos in one. 2 topics in one. Grounding. The beginning is where you need to be. We've got grounded. It's going to be grounded. Endurance. Words of love. Speak with your heart. Let's see what I've got here. Has that plan been stopped? But they're just telling us because they need people to know. Oh, look at that. I got the same cards yesterday for the birth story. Communicate. What's on the bottom? Ask. Oh, perhaps they've been told to communicate. Yes. Oh, look at these. Natural. We will continue to do things in the normal, natural way. And protection, positive. So I'm not worried about that anymore. I'm glad I read on it. But I now wonder if they're being directed. I'm actually going to ask that outright. Because they're all sitting there talking about it like it's nothing. The presenters, and then I thought that's appalling. Okay. Are they being directed? It could be that they've been told to deliver the truth. Okay. Are they being... I've got a white hat. Yes, because look, I have a disappointment card here. Oh, look, that one's upside down. And that one. Look. So this could be not willing to do it, but being, you got to do it because it was kind of upside down. So that would be like an agreement. Maybe that was, being told rather than wanting to do something. And this is not as it seems. This is not as it seems. Okay, I've just said outright, have they been told to act a part? I don't think I've ever really asked it like that. Health. Cooperation. Oh my goodness me. Yes. 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 Last ones. I felt pretty fed up hearing that yesterday, and now I've done it. Actually, I'm pleased I did it because, sometimes you can get so engulfed in the stories. You think, oh, when's this going to end? And, and then you realise, no, they're all being told what to say. Take time to look after yourself. So, i.e. stop reading headlines. I only saw it because I went on Facebook. Right. Clear direction. Family is everything. Reconnect with them. Let me see. I asked, were they being told to do this? Family. Family could be the group of people that is looking out for us. The white hats. I wondered why I kept getting the word family. Is family the white hats? Ooh, he looks like a soldier. Right, and he's for the good. Okay, so that was a big sidetrack there, but I'm glad I got to the bottom of it, and that one fell out. Yes, that's a yes. Yeah, I definitely think they have got our back, and I think they're ahead of the game. So back to the riots. Will this thing, I'll do it in front of you, will these riots get worse and worse? Will they call National Guard? Apparently they can't make arrests, they can't interfere, but they can sort of supervise. But I wonder if it kicks off and gets really bad, and then, then they call like martial law because everything's chaotic, and I don't know. It feels like it has to come to a conclusion soon, doesn't it? Honestly, everything's being destroyed, out of control. The world is in one big mess. Now, it could be for safety that they put the military out. Okay, he's a military man. For the safety. Will it get worse? Is the riot the beginning of the end? It's going to intensify. Now, the thing is, when you suddenly change plans, people don't like it. You know, it's very difficult. Once you change something and you change people's lives, there's going to be pushback. It's to be expected. I just do think it can only get worse. So, okay, because of the truth, and this could be the situation of the, you know, the immigrants and looking at things differently now because of what they've been told. This has caused a lot of surprise. It's been unexpected, but there could be more surprises to come, okay? This marked a big change, okay, to people's plans and everything that's happened. I think there'll be a message, and I think more will come. I think more military will come. Yeah, they're definitely going to move forward this, and it's a move forward, and it's very much to do with safety. And when he said about the Marines, I just see the sea and a ship. So it could be more, you know, not just on land, it could be on water as well. There's water there as well, actually. I can't remember the cards that were around it. Oh, yes, perhaps that was there, and that was next to it from my memory. I think that was there, which means perhaps the surprise is a message for, you know, Marines and ships or ships. Wow. My goodness. So there's a surprise coming. Okay, I don't know if it works, this question. Okay, so something sudden and unexpected could happen. What I asked is, I'm going to go for these because I think they're justice, but I still want them anyway. What I asked was, could this intensify and get much worse? And not only do the military step out, because we know that anyway, but could it lead to sort of martial law because everything's so disabled? But I don't know if the two work together, but I'm just going to ask it anyway. See what I get. Oh, so okay. They are going to use the full force of the LAW here. Oh, hello. Come back, Smilo. Full force, okay? And they're going to be quite firm about it, okay? So they're going to be very, they're not going to back down. They mean business now. Okay, so they are really moving forward with it, with their message, and they're going to continue. And I've got the same card. This could be about the immigrant situation, looking at going somewhere different, okay? And they're moving forward and they're not going to stop. So could it lead to martial law? Now, I don't have martial law yet, but I have a lot of people. It's a lot of people. A lot of people. Oh, it's a lot of people, I'm afraid. Either a lot of people are going to push back and it's going to get worse, or a lot of people are going to be going. Or a lot of people are waiting. Could be both. Could be one situation, then the next situation happens. It could be first the people, this is intensify and they want to fight. This is a fighting card and they're prepared to put up a fight. I think that's what it is. But then it could be, then they step in and they use their full force. There's an agreement that this is going to get ugly. This is going to get ugly with this card. Now, so it could be one thing leads to another thing, okay? Because Seven of Cups, this card, is a bit of a smoke and mirrors kind of card. So something may not be as it seems. So could they use one situation to bounce off another situation? But it will intensify quite a lot. So the moon is going to be, the situation is going to come to the surface, okay? And maybe it's a way for them to start a new beginning somehow. And maybe this could be the beginning of a new beginning, because this is a new beginning. And this is what they wish for, in a way, a new beginning, which is going to be a bit treacherous to start with. Okay, so it's going to be difficult for them to manage. It's going to get very hard, but it will come to an end. And the Hierophant is all about control, okay? To manage it all and to complete it and wrap it up. They will wrap it up however they do it. Do they call martial law? I don't know. But they won't, they're not going to stop now. This is kind of a battle. I have a stop and I have a soldier and he's waiting. So they're watching and waiting, and the hermit, they're getting the knowledge. So they're going to see how far is this going to go. And then they're waiting with the Knight of Pentacles. They're sitting on the fence. They're at a crossroads and they're waiting. I think they will at some point. Yes, because look, they're going to take no prisoners here. They are going to do their job. This could be a strategy, because if you look at the card, there is military behind. And this is a sneaky kind of card as well. Right? So something that perhaps been waiting for with the Queen of Pentacles, been waiting for to manifest in the environment. It would be, you know, it could be, look, Judgment Day on the bottom. This situation will get very, very big. It's going to lead to that pivotal point. And what they do next, perhaps they call kind of like emergency disaster. I don't know. It could be that they do have to call military or some kind of EBS, because they need to heal the situation, calm the situation down. Okay, Judgment Day is a big card, so this will get very, very big. I remember now, somebody said to me in the comments, and I'll do this, but I'm going to forget what it's called, so I'm not going to think. I'm going to finish this one first, then I'll get on to that in a minute. Just led me on somewhere to something else, and this can be next week's reading if I don't do one, if I don't have time. So this is desire. Be certain where you place your passion, communication and awareness. Roll away the clouds and look. Listen and speak with greater care. So this could well be clouds that, you know, finally the mist clears. Somebody said to me, hold on, I better do one more. It's really hard because you're thinking about other things. You're trying to, you know, work out the cards and think of the next thing you've just thought of. Career. Ooh, interesting. Career area. Career. Could that be that if they called an emergency broadcast or something, that they take over because it's their career, not the president's career anymore? Just a side note. Let me know what you think. Finally, leading on. So that will be a big situation that is going to come to a head. Okay, and they're waiting to see what happens, but I think it will escalate quite badly. Finally, on the comments, somebody said to me, instead of saying emergency broadcast system or emergency alert system, why don't you look at Mars? Of course, when you start typing in Google Mars, they start talking about Mars. And I assumed he meant, see if I can get it right now, because I haven't got it next to me, but the military auxiliary radio system. So this could be a broadcast on the radio, that kind of broadcast, a military broadcast, not kind of the one on our phones. And they said it's something to do with Elon Musk keeps talking about it. Like, I don't really follow a lot of stuff, so I can only get the little limited information from the comments. So they said look at that instead. So the military auxiliary radio system. Will this lead to that? Or is that on its way? Or is that anything we need to know? Yes, could be used. And that would be a radio, because that's energy and it's sparking like a radio antenna. I'm going to use that one, but I know it's justice, but I got it again. It's my day of justice. Waiting. So this is the Mars system. Okay. Do you know what? I think they're waiting to use it. I think they're waiting to use this. or if it's not that, it's the other one. But this felt with energy. This could be the Mars one. This is the white hats, okay? They're waiting, but they're waiting. They're in a battle situation, and when they have a reason to use it, I think they're going to use it. But they're waiting, perhaps, until this could be even the riots. Everything escalates and gets a bit blown, really sort of blown out of proportion, gets really, a bit sort of out of control with this card. And it could even be a bit sort of fearful with this card, which could be the riots. So they're waiting for an opportunity to use it. Okay, so it's that they're waiting. Look, he's waiting. And this is how they will use justice, because this is how you get law and order back. And that is also law and order. Okay, so, yeah. I think when they can't control the people, then they're going to have to look at using it. And they do want to use it, because that's a desire. They'll use it to stop things getting out of hand and can gain back control. So let's see how far these riots and everything go. Look, if it didn't happen with the riots, just say I've done this reading and it doesn't happen with the riots and they all simmer down, it is coming, because I've still got the reading saying they do want to use this. Look at that card. Peace. Absence. This could be to stop everything and to bring things to a halt. That is amazing. So what's it called? Mars, the military auxiliary radio system. Do they want to use it? Will they use it? Oh my goodness. Look what's underneath. I now know what music means. Music, I think, is a celebration. Because I get it on my own readings, when I do readings sometimes for myself. I'm like, music doesn't make any sense. And now I think music is a celebration. Because, it's the kind of thing you would dance around to and go, yay. Now, I don't have a celebration in that pack. So, of course, sometimes you have to improvise. What could that mean? So, yeah, where was I? I've got absence. Family. Could be like sticking together, united as one, and clearing. So to clear the situation, or could even be people returning to their families. But it is in order to gain peace. They will use it to gain peace. So that was quite fascinating. I'm looking forward. That's not really the right word. Be looking forward, interestingly, to see how that situation develops according to what I've just got this morning, which is very, very interesting. Definitely going to intensify. And this really does feel like they want to use this, okay? Because it's like sparking. Like, you know how a radio goes, beep, 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 beep. You just see that like that. Yes. This could be for the people. Look, celebrate. And I had music. New beginning. Yeah, there's a message. There's a message coming. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah. Interesting. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Do like, share and subscribe. Bye now.